Hello, and welcome to the Wonderland Chronicles. I thought I would talk about nervous system reset today. I mostly wanted to talk about this because I recently did a reset. One of the things that does reset me is painting, but this was nature. Nature's another big one. Also movement, but on a deeper level, nature's a really good reset for me. Other ways, of course, we've already talked about meditation, which is a really big, if you can if you can have the patience for it, it can really be a great tool in the toolbox of resetting your nervous system. And it can also be something that you can call on quicker the more you do it, the more you practice it. So that basically because this weekend I hurt myself, ended up in the ER and had a huge adrenaline reaction. I didn't expect quite that big of an adrenaline punch for what happened. I punctured my lip all the way through with my teeth. And people's faces, I don't know if it's like that was the worst part because like their faces were just, they were looking at me like, oh, like they were watching one of those shows where people get really badly hurt, one of the blooper shows. Anyway, sorry about my creaky floor, by the way. You hear that squeak? There's not a giant mouse. I just have a really creaky floor right here. It needs a screw in it. So I'm sitting in the emergency room. It didn't hurt that bad. It's the weirdest thing. It didn't hurt that bad and even didn't bleed that much. And but my nervous system was shot because by the time I was in the emergency room, I think I had about an hour of a wait. I started to like nod off sleepy and I was like, whoa, that's a weird reaction. But that's what my body decided to do. It was like, yep, shut it down. This was way too much excitement for one day. And so I did go over to a couch and lay down while I was waiting. By the time I got in, actually, it ended up being way less bad than I thought it was going to be. I thought I'd need stitches, and I didn't. I just got tape on it, and they sent me out the door and on my way, and I was incredibly happy about that. Never like waiting in the waiting room. I wouldn't have gone in if I knew I didn't need stitches, but I did. I went in because I thought probably all the way through is bad and I will maybe need some stitches. I'm already like I get down on my parents for not going to the hospital, and then here I am saying I wasn't going to go to the emergency room if I could help it. It wasn't the emergency room. I went to urgent care. So it was not that big of an injury. But at my stage in my life, running a business, having a son, having aging parents, by the way, they live right next door. I love them dearly. This is a lot. It's a lot. And my nervous system is basically on like level 9. And then having done that was just blew the roof off of it. So come Monday, my husband and I decided just to go on a really quick out of town trip to some beautiful river and be around nature. I couldn't be that far away from connectivity because I did have a job going, so we stayed pretty close, but it was super nice to get away from all the regular stuff that makes me feel like I gotta hurry or do or keep going or problems to solve, and just be in nature. So in fact, in the beginning of my disease, one of the biggest things I did, even though I could barely move sometimes or walk down my street, is I would drive all the way out into the gorge. I'd pick any exit, I'd find a hike, and I'd start up the trail, and I just wouldn't, it would be out and back because I wouldn't be able to go that far. I brought walking sticks. I know the area, and the the paths are really great so I wouldn't get lost. But it was huge just to be in nature. And I was like right next to the freeway, especially if I didn't get very far. But it didn't matter. It just had trees everywhere. It smelled different. It looked beautiful. The gorge is gorgeous. If you ever have a chance to come see it, do. Yeah, so put nature on the list as something to try to regulate your nervous system. Make it a priority. Back then, it was a priority for me. I went every single week. I had one day on every weekend that was just mine, and I would take off and do that. And then I would come back. On the way back, I'd get myself brunch. Very fun, very nice. But if you don't have that kind of change or time, just some nature time. If you can find it, squeeze it in, make it a priority, and give your blood pressure a break. Give your mind a break. Just take a break and see what's right in front of you, the beauty of what's right in front of you. That's a great nervous system reset.